Over my years as a realtor in Waterloo region, I've had the pleasure of meeting plenty of successful person. Here are some of their stories. Welcome to People Around Town. Well, I'm super excited to have Brian Prudham here with me. I've known Brian since Sunday school.
I would say we were six or seven
Sunday school at First United Church.
First United Church. The Prudhams and the Wattys seem to be the greeters almost every other Sunday.
That is true. And you were more than just the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter family.
We were every Sunday.
You were every Sunday, and except for the summers. I was able to take the summers off. Yeah. And I think because you were at the cottage, then my dad felt he didn't need to go. So shout out to Frank Watty. But I've known Brian for a long time, and even though I'm in real estate, and Brian, I should have said this, he is the principal with Momentum Developments in town, responsible for really a huge positive change in our landscape here. Thanks for building stuff that actually looks good. Greatly appreciate that. Even though I've known Brian for a long time, I always see him in passing, and very rarely do we talk business. It's kind of almost like this day and age, people talk business if they have kind of nothing else to talk about.
You default to it.
You just default to business. How's work? How are things? And actually, we had lunch about a year ago. And we did talk a little bit of work.
A little bit of business at Red House in its final days.
Rest in peace to Red House. So, but I think it was about time to have Brian in here to get into sort of what he sees real estate as, what drew him to real estate, and all of the above, if you will. So, start off with this: Momentum Developments, the first real local high-rise developer. I will say. How did that start? Whose idea was it? How was it conceived? I want the real story.
Sure. So it didn't actually start as high rise. It started as mid rise.
Okay.
Back in Waterloo, and so my original partners and myself were coming out of the student housing world, right?
Okay.
And so we had seen a pretty decent run up by about 2006 in the student housing world. Obviously, little did we know that it would just keep going, but. We took an opportunity to try to capitalize on a market that really was unknown in Waterloo, right? Like we didn't have many condos. Bauer, you'll remember back in sort of 04, 05.
Bauer and Kaufman were the big ones.
Yeah. So we tried to get into the market at that time. Probably told you the story. The timing wasn't ideal. We got into the market. We got our sales, got our approvals. Everything lined up, ready to go. October 2008 hits. Right.
Okay.
So we had some struggles early on, for sure. We had some financing difficulties, but we persevered, and I think we picked up our financing in the spring of 2009, and then just kind of took off from there.
Sailed off from there.
Yeah, sailed off from there. So we did 3 mid-rise projects in Waterloo, and then took the game down the street to Kitchener, where we did our first high-rise, which was King and Victoria.
So that would be Regina, 42 Bridgeport.
And Red Condominium.
Yeah, that's
across
right.
From Bauer.
I got it. Well,
Good memory.
Well, depending on when this was released, I got a client. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm trying to figure which my favorite one is out of them all. I
could tell you mine.
Yeah.
I could tell you mine. 42 Bridgeport took years off my life. It did.
Did it?
And driving by it for a decade, it was hard to look at.
Was it?
It was hard to look at. But now I drive by it and I'm like, man, that's pretty beautiful. Like
it is really cool.
Decent job there.
Yeah. No, well, put it this way: anytime designers buy in your building, that means you have something special. And I believe Courtney Chilton bought in your building there too.
Yeah, probably.
So she's since sold, but. Hey, if a designer sees something in your building, that means you've built something unique.
Absolutely. She actually designed my house.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, even better.
But I had the luxury of actually going into 42 Bridgeport about a month, maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Having a look around, I was in a guy's unit.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of folks who lived in the building, and I told them what it was. So they said, "Oh yeah, come look at the unit." So I was able to go look at a bunch of units, and they've held up well over 15 years.
Yes.
So yeah, pretty happy with all.
And everything about it is still kind of the same size. I don't know if you were clairvoyant, but since we're on the topic of Courtney, who do you have do your designs for your different units? And and do you have like a designer that does the structure and then more of like a finished designer, or has that morphed, or who are some of your go-to people?
So we've used a number of architects through the years, different architects, but I suppose our go-to would be Andrew Bousfield at ABA.
Yeah.
He and Matt Boland, who's now he was at Matt,
Correct.
obviously, yeah.
Yes.
So, and then between those two firms, typically we'll kind of default to their interior design folks.
Okay.
We try to stay as far away from that as possible.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Even in designing my own house, I had no input at all.
Just
Courtney, make the decision.
Strictly output from the bank account.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably the best way to go about it. So you were in Waterloo, and then was it a conscious decision off the start to say I want to go to Kitchener, or did you just see some more opportunity in Kitchener? What was some of the thought process?
It's actually an excellent question. That's going to lead into probably a good conversation here. So in 2009, the city of Waterloo set a sunset on the DC the development charge exemption.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. You probably remember that.
A sunset. Yeah. That was
so December 31st, and so, excuse me. At that point, going forward, we made the decision. It's time to go to Kitchener. They were still DC exempt, and ended up being DC exempt until 2017, 2018.
Okay.
So we put in 5 good years there. And probably built, I don't know, close to 800, 900 condos over that short period.
Yes.
Where it was DC exempt. And we have recently purchased land in Waterloo and are going back for the first time in 12 years.
You guys should have a parade.
Yeah, you'd think. Yeah.
Well, momentum even works going uphill.
Yeah. Like it.
Yeah. So I just thought it was gravitational pull downtown, but it's funny.
It's a costing advantage.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. And I'm always curious. So, Charles Street and Gaukel.
Mm-hmm.
How do you choose the address?
You get to choose.
Okay.
You get to choose. So today it's 60 Charles Street West.
Correct.
When we purchased it was 24 Gaukel Street.
Yes.
Right. So the marketing folks liked the name Charlie West.
Yes.
Charles Street West. So we kind of said, all right, well, you put in the request to the municipality, and they say, sure, that fits within, the parameters of what will allow, so you can change it. We also, what's another example of that? 1 Victoria.
Yes.
Was, I don't know, was it
something King?
336 King or something? Yeah. So we did the same thing there.
And then it's just I guess if you run a door in a corner, you really have your choice.
Then you got your choice.
Then you really have your choice.
Yeah.
But in the case of the other one,
but that's a good. I don't think I've ever been asked that question. That's a good question.
I'm just always curious,
right?
There you go. Because Gaukel.
Well, Gaukel doesn't roll off the tongue.
It doesn't roll. It's got a sound though.
Got a sound, yeah. And I'm sure he was an important historian. I think he had one of the first taverns in Kitchener or something. I got to look that up, but. It doesn't roll off the tongue quite the way Charlie.
He was one of the first taverns in Kitchener?
I think so. Probably shouldn't say that live on the podcast, but I think so.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's local history, even though if it might be somewhat fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Gaukel, it still has a sound to it.
There's a sound.
Yeah,
nobody spells it right.
It's a great name for a pub, though.
Yeah, it's a decent name. Yeah.
But I guess right now you've got 31 King Street East in Gaukel, on the corner of Charlie West.
On the corner.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah, across the street.
No. There's the gentleman. He used to be on King Street, and then he moved into the
271 West.
271 West. Yeah. Because then we used to be King Street West. So technically, you have 3 addresses.
That's true. Yeah.
In one property. That's got to be.
Yeah, I never thought of that either. Okay.
Yeah, really nice fella. Actually, I'd be tempted to have him on here. He's amazing.
He would be a great guy to have on here.
Yeah,
he's
got everything in the residence.
He's got a story.
Okay. Well, we've got you here, and I need to fully embrace the fact that you are here.
And thank you, by the way, for the invite.
Yes.
Following in the footsteps of some titans like Welker and Shaddy, and who else did you have on here? Mello.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I know why I wanted Mello here, but I don't. I just like the way his voice sounded.
Oh yeah, confident.
Yeah, so it just sounds like fun to me. A good old time. Okay, so all these things are happening now. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I would love your opinion. You are welcome to have the pass on it.
Okay. Right.
But it's just I work with a lot of end users, right? And what really irks me is that a developer can take a whole bunch of deposits and sell a whole bunch of units and then decide not to proceed with the project.
Cancel the project.
Right? Whereas end user can't buy something, and then when the I'm not going to say the momentum, the direction of the project is obviously going the wrong way.
Yep.
They can't really back out after that 10-day cooling.
Yep.
I say this, and I'm going to flat out say it, sorry, but it's to this day, there's the one project that I really believed in, probably because it was underpriced, at Avenue M, and the developer there, after receiving a bunch of deposits, says, pretty much what I'm guessing is the market's taking off. We sold these for too little. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And where you figure, for the most part, the developer is the one that, if you're going to do that, to me, you better claim bankruptcy to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why should a developer be able to get a pass when an end user can't?
It's a good point. It's a good point. So I also had a unit at Avenue M.
Okay, fair enough.
I think we did buy them for perhaps too little. And ultimately, the numbers didn't pencil out for Activa.
Yeah.
And Tony's a very good friend of mine, so I'm not going to say anything negatively about that development company. They're great.
Well, if the rules are the rules, then they can get away with it, but it irks me that...
So the rules have changed ever so slightly.
Okay.
So now, if you cancel a project, I think since 2018, if you cancel a project, your ability to keep your Terrion license is questioned.
Okay.
And then your cost... per door in your Terrion deposit as a developer is increased, sometimes double.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
like we have a Terrion holdback usually around $20,000 a unit.
Yep.
Now, if you've got this black mark on your record, it might be 40, it might be 50. They underrate it and let you know. So there is punishment, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes me happy.
There you go. Yeah.
I guess the spiteful side of
I think
Watty, but it is
we all
what it
wanted
is.
that project. I think it would have looked.
It's
there.
Well, they're going to do it again.
Yeah. Like Paul Levesque's got it now, so.
Right? They're going to do it again, and hopefully they keep it 6 stories, don't push it past that. Yeah. Try to push, but anyways, beautiful project.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of projects that are back on the market from being off the market, I'm just going to raise my hand, and there's the project by the Highway Market Zares on Weber and Elevate. People, if you're listening, don't buy it. Okay, it was garbage to start, and it remains garbage. Come try to find me. It is what it is. Sorry. Just go with momentum, okay? They have momentum for a reason. It's not like a fly-by-night. You've never changed your name of your company once since you really started moving.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
And this is a man about town. He doesn't wear hats super low to cover his face when he goes out. He's Brian Prudham, and I'm proud to be his friend. And I'm happy to have you on. So
It's hard to hide in the shadows around KW.
You just can't go out.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah,
you're just sitting at home playing Fortnite and eating Hot Pockets otherwise. So we can be better than that.
We can be, absolutely.
So speaking of in the community, out and about in the community, I know Momentum is a great sponsor of different local events. I know you yourself, anytime you are asked to speak, you don't think twice. And you really give an honest insight to everybody around as to what's going on, almost to the point that some people might say, hey, I could be a developer too, and in which case you'd probably be like, I wish you luck. It's not for the faint.
It's funny, maybe I'm too honest. I think actually Terry Pender, a reporter at The Record, one time told me, you got to watch what you say. You got to watch what you say. You're too honest. You got to kind of tone it down here. I don't know. I like to just say it as it is usually, and it's done me well through the years.
And I greatly appreciate that out of you.
Yeah.
So, in terms of saying it like it is or how it is, right now the market is in transition. Period.
Good word.
Period.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Like even single family new builds, like the whole amount of housing starts are low at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe I learned it on The Simpsons, but I think crisis is another word for opportunity in some languages. I think Homer called it, crisis-tunity.
Crisis-tunity.
What do you see being the opportunities within the local market from a development standpoint? Or what are you guys at Momentum seeing?
So I think it's a really good question. So in the world of new construction, things have ground to functionally a halt.
Sure.
We haven't sold a unit in quite some time.
Right.
The primary reason for that is that the delta between resale and pre-construction sale is large. $400, $500 a square foot, right?
Sure.
So where's the opportunity? I guess if I were looking for opportunity, I think for the last 15, 20 years, people have been complaining a lot about affordability.
Sure.
Not being able to go to your mom's basement because you can't afford anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now for $300,000, you can get into a 600 square foot condo.
Sure.
In one of our old buildings, a one bedroom, for instance, and I think if you pick that up today in a well managed, good board, a building that you know something about, I think in 5 years you're going to be very happy with that purchase.
Sure.
I believe that. Yeah.
And you're not in your parents' basement.
Not in your parents' basement, and you've got your money working for you. It's kind of like rewinding to almost, 2010 right now with some of the pricing in condos out there.
And I wouldn't say quite that.
So there's some.
In certain cases,
I was looking at House Sigma before we got here. There's a few out there that, it's like 500, 550 a square foot.
Yeah.
And that delta I'm talking about, we're kind of 900, 950.
Yeah.
So that's. I think the opportunity is in the resale market, and that gap will narrow over time.
Sure.
And of course, there's going to be pre-construction sales again.
Yes.
It might not be this year, next year. I don't know when it is. I don't have a crystal ball, but it has to come back at some point.
And now, one thing I will say, and it's where I find there's certain properties, and I'll take the example of, and everything's different, but I'll take the example of Water Park Place on Willow. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Always been a popular building.
Yeah. But the prices in that building, they've gone down, but not anywhere close to percentages of your average condo.
The stuff that we've been building,
Yeah. Probably because they're massive.
Yes. They're big.
They're big.
They're 1,500, 2,000 square feet, and they're sort of well suited to a particular demographic. That downsizing demographic. Yeah. So there's a wait list of people who want to get in there.
There's a huge wait list on that. Like that is the building for downsizers. Has there been any thought of trying to, because recent build projects, lion's share are 1 bedroom, 1+ dens, and so forth.
Yeah.
And I guess the difficulty is to build out a project, you need X percentage sold before you can get your financing to build it out.
Bang on. So we've been developing a lot for the investor market.
Yes.
Right? They like the 1 bedroom, 1+ den. That's been the trend for the last 15 years.
Correct.
That group is no longer active.
Correct.
That investor group is no longer active. So I think the question is, what are we going to do? So I think you're bang on. It's larger, more livable units, which we want to develop anyway. There's a cost advantage.
The city of Waterloo had a DC has a DC charge per unit.
Correct.
Per bedroom.
That's in Waterloo. In Kitchener, So and then that's changing.
Okay.
So ultimately will be per unit. But if you think about, fine. So two 1-bedroom units side by side, 600 square feet each.
Sure.
Versus a 1,200 square foot 2+ den. Correct. Well, for me, that's 1 kitchen, probably 1 fewer bathroom, 1 less development charge, 1 less parking spot. I'm building more, bedrooms and living area than I am, so fewer mechanical shafts, electrical shafts, like everything. There's cost
There's a cost
savings
saving,
and advantage for us across the board. So if we could go back to building Water Park Place, 2,000 square foot units across the whole building, I'd be happy as a pick and chip. Now, that's not likely to happen. That's an extreme, but
even something to come out at, say, 1.2, 1.3 price point for your person at Beechwood that's selling their place for, 1.5, 1.6.
Yeah.
It's fine, a little bit more affluent, but those are the people that are knocking down the doors on Water Park Place.
Exactly. So we have a few examples.
Or giving up and just renting out at Barrel
Yards. Yeah. So we did build some larger units at Otis in the park, the little 6-story building there.
I would say Kitchener's not as ready for that.
Okay, good. And so I think you're right. So I think the product, that particular product is going to be quite popular in our building. We call it the Atrium in Uptown Waterloo.
Yes.
So building larger suites.
A1 location. Actually, go test drive at Barrel Yards. Oh, you like renting there? You like the location? Okay, perfect. Come across the street. You can buy with us. Yes.
We got to get our price points down because that's the problem right now.
Sure.
New construction is too expensive.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't pencil out. And there's lots of ways we can do that because almost 30% of our cost inputs these days are taxes. We'll call them, frankly. I mean, it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's development charges, it's parkland dedication, it's inclusionary zoning, it's building permit fees, it's GST, it's PST, it's so it's just the list goes on, right? So we need to stop looking at housing as a profit center for the public sector.
Okay.
And once we start rolling back to what maybe where we
using housing for housing.
Yeah, housing so you can live in it and it's affordable.
Everybody says we need more housing housing because we want the taxes from it.
Right, exactly. Yes. And everybody's sort of motivated by that. And that's what makes I try to get this information across with like ECDev and politicians. The way we price
economic development.
Yeah. The way we price our product is you look at all those input costs, you add them up, and we put a 12% profit margin on it. Yeah, because we have right. So that's how it works. That's how every business works. And so if our costs are lower, our profits actually stay exactly. The percentage stays exactly the same.
Yes,
we can get more done.
Okay.
So that part of the story, I can't blame it all on taxes. There's been, hard construction costs have gone through the roof since COVID and haven't come down the way they should.
Well,
labor's up.
Yeah, I don't because. There's a chance to make money. If that's the new normal, why do I go back to the old normal if I'm making more profit?
Well, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and you can blame macro. I know we don't want to talk about that, but you can blame macroeconomics and everything, interest rates, but
the whole bit.
Even interest rates. Wasn't yesterday a bank? Yeah, it was.
Just
Bank of Canada. They held. How many people talked about that yesterday? Remember back a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Everybody would be sitting there at 9:30 in the morning waiting for the announcement.
Oh,
now it's just like it kind of happens, doesn't it?
I don't wait anymore. You go see what the inflation rate is, and that tells you what we're doing.
Right. But it used to be edge of your seat stuff. Right?
True.
You're going to cut,
Yeah.
Because we all thought that was the problem in the market when in fact it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. You're right. It wasn't at all. One thing I remember from your units, or maybe it just seemed the case, or either that or it's just me with rosy eyes for Momentum Developments, because I like you guys.
Okay, like that.
Is it seems to me that you guys seem to rent out your main floor commercial a lot, or sell your main floor commercial a lot faster than a lot of other developers.
Okay.
How do you already have somebody lined up when you do the build, or
well, we certainly try as a marketing ploy. It's certainly better if you can tell your residential purchasers that you've got a coffee shop or a pub or some condo development use, salon, what have you. Ultimately, though, I think our secret sauce is that we don't. It's not necessarily a loss leader, but we really don't expect a lot of profit from our commercial components. So we drop, as an example, you can sell retail in downtown Kitchener. We would probably sell it $350 a square foot.
Oh wow!
Well, that's half, a third of the unit right above it. And when you think about the ground floor retail, that's curtain wall, not window wall. True. That's 14-foot, 16-foot ceilings, right? Like that's expensive to build.
You're right.
And we kind of treat it as let's let's get it sold, let's get somebody in there, let's get it active.
And then get
animated.
people excited about living in the spot.
Yeah. It hasn't always worked out. I'm glad you said that, but it hasn't always worked out. It's very, retail has gone through a lot of years.
You're going to notice it more than I am, but just from what I see, normally a lot of times I see those spaces just sit, man.
Yeah. And well, right now, and you think it's sort of the center of downtown Kitchener, what is that? Young condos are all just sort of empty space at the base there, and
it's sad.
It's a bit of a void right in the center of our core.
It's completely sad. Who's excited about living there? So what could be down here? I don't know.
Yeah.
And sooner or later they can't sell it, so they just put in a weed shop.
Yep. So it's I certainly wouldn't claim this as my own, but Scott Higgins wrote a white paper a number of years ago called Free Streets.
Yes.
You've read of that, you've heard that. Yeah. So I like that concept.
Yeah.
Where you're driving your amenity down to the main floor.
Yes.
Which allows you to sell more residential square footage upstairs, but then you've got sort of an activated, animated main floor.
Main floor.
Yeah. Works well.
Which is awesome. Awesome. So, Free Streets, I do like that. Now, I wouldn't call it free parking. But I'd call it free-for-all parking.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
And no, I'm just, it's different to me,
good.
right?
Yeah,
Momentum development's not on every project.
On every project.
On every project, okay.
Yeah.
On every project, but certain projects you have one level that you're on, right? So, for instance, red, you're either on the one level or the lower level, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So there's this thing called Free Streets, but what Momentum has done and continues to do is it's not called free-for-all parking. I guess you would call it unassigned parking, or what's the term you want to have?
Well, we call it floating parking.
Floating parking.
Yeah. Basically, it is unassigned parking. And so we will sell one-to-one residential passes for units in the building to parking stalls in the garage.
Sure.
I call them
parking stalls. Fine.
Sure. What that allows for is certainly prior to 2020, there was a larger percentage of vehicles who would leave to go to work in the morning.
Yes.
Opening up sometimes upwards of 50% of the stalls in the garage.
Okay.
So we then could turn around and rent out commercial daytime passes between 9 and 5.
Oh.
So those would go to our office users, sometimes in close proximity, or retail users within the building.
Oh, okay.
We'll use One Victoria as a good example. So 200 stalls in that garage, 200 residential passes to the users upstairs.
Yes.
Allowed us to do, I think at one point we had 80 commercial daytime passes leased out to D2L across the street.
Wow.
And they loved it because it's covered parking.
Yep.
It's secure. It's
Yeah.
close by, right? It's great. So it was kind of their best parking, and there's never conflicts. Now, there's never conflicts because
people were leaving for work.
But we also have pucks in the garage that track the
the flow.
The flow, yeah.
Okay.
So we never oversell a garage, greater than say 90%. Like it always has to function.
Right.
It has to function. If you come home from work and there's not a spot,
That's a problem.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
So we cannot have that happen.
So I didn't know that was. So where'd you get that concept from?
Oh man, this goes back probably got to be 15 plus years. I think it was actually an incorrect reading of the bylaw where it says you need X number of residential spots and X number of commercial spots, and we sort of jammed them together and said, okay, we got that many. But and anyway, through the years it's worked quite well, and I would say the hardest part was in the early days trying to convince lawyers on closing that you're buying a parking license for an unassigned spot.
Correct.
Phone rang every lawyer in the city. I've talked to every lawyer in the city.
Yes.
About this issue, and once we got a deal done with them, the next one's
the next one they know it's coming. The next one they know it's coming.
Yeah. So it snowballed into a business. Yeah.
Awesome. Now I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this question, but you've seen all the designs. Mm-hmm. You've seen all the plans of all the ones that you've built. Mm-hmm. And I see no downside to this question. Maybe you don't care. I know certain people, they wouldn't care. But what would your top 5 most favorite units be?
Right.
Like when you're looking at the plans, you're like, oh man, that one's sweet.
So I guess I have a tendency. We build a lot of ones. We build a lot of so 500, 600 square foot ones.
How about what's your? Do you have a favorite one bedroom?
So I wouldn't say that. I think some of my favorite units would be some of those large terraced units looking out of Victoria Park at Otis.
Yes.
Some of our 2-story units that we built back at 42 Bridgeport.
Oh yeah,
those are still
cool.
kind of iconic. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I guess it's always the larger units that
which is fine. That's the ones you remember. When you look at it and say, like, I would live there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would live there.
Yeah.
That's sort of the smell test.
Yeah.
To do I like it? Would I be able to live there?
So not to bid yourself up.
Yeah.
But of all the units, what unit would you downsize into?
So I own it already.
Oh, you own it already? Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
And it is one of those large terraced units at Otis. 5th floor, looks right into the Clock Tower Park.
Yes.
It's about 1,600 square feet with a 400 square foot terrace and 2 plus den or 3 bedroom. I think that's where I'll end up someday.
That's so cool. Now, Otis was a little bit of a joint venture.
Yeah, so that was with Vive Developments. Yeah. So the one thing I really like about that is that it's Vive's name on the building, right? So people sort of, it's a Vive building.
Sure.
Great. That's perfect for me because then
you can live there.
Because you can live there.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to live in one of my buildings where you're getting into the elevator and some guy's got a warranty issue or
something. Well, because you've been a face of it, right?
Yeah,
you haven't been hiding at all.
Right.
Man, I could keep going and going and going, but I've already gotten more than I was expecting.
Okay, good. That's good.
Brian, I appreciate you joining me.
Thanks for having me on. Really do appreciate it.
That was a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll do a follow-up next year. See where the State of the Union is.
It's not hard, and I'm curious. At that point in time, you might even have sort of plans out, and
hey, maybe I'll have a building permit.
There you go. It's kind of like having The Rock on promoting his book. Right?
There you go.
So
there you go.
Anyways, thanks for joining us, people around town. The one and only Brian Prudham, great guy, principal at Momentum, but great guy.
Love it.